This wacky, retro-style speaker feels like a true blast from the past, and combined with modern technological elements, doesn't make this quirky little speaker the one that could, because it truly is the one that did. Hey, what's good? Prash here with my take on the Divoom Ditoo Pro, not to be confused with the Plus. And I gotta say, this speaker was super cool to play games on, play music on, and to display a whole bunch of really cool pixel art. And I just want to reiterate what I mentioned in the intro, because I really do mean it when I said that this is the speaker that did it all, and did it all really well. Because on paper, the amount of functionality and features that this little device has is absolutely nuts. And while that's all good on paper, it really is quite ambitious. And usually with products that make all these ambitious claims, you start to see the drawbacks in the execution of the product itself. And I'll admit it right now, the execution when it came to the Divoom Ditoo Pro, for the most part, was quite excellent. So let's start us off with the wicked design. Alright, so the retro futuristic styling really does it for me, and it honestly feels like something out of the Fallout game franchise. I especially like this baby blue variant, which has a nice cream-colored bezel surrounding the screen and matching buttons. You also get a really nice rose gold slot machine style joystick and music button, and an orange menu button. Now as for the buttons themselves, these are real mechanical key switches, which are no joke and have RGB. There is a great amount of travel and the buttons feel so satisfying to press. They honestly feel better than my actual keyboard. The screen itself is a 16 by 16 pixel grid which gets plenty bright and is arguably one of the hallmarks of this device. Alright, so let's take a look at features aside from playing music. And like I said, there's a lot to get into. So right off the bat, when you boot it up, on top of this really cool boot up animation and sound, you get a clock. You also get an alarm clock feature which is very handy. You can even use it to see weather updates when connected to your phone. Also, when connected to your phone via Bluetooth, you can also see notifications such as calls or emails. You can also use it to create your own pixel masterpiece. It has a sound meter for some reason. Weird, but okay. It can also act as a timer. Again, very useful. You can set reminders. It also serves as an internet radio, which honestly is the real throwback here. You can also play a variety of old school games such as Tetris and Snake, which is perfect for my procrastination. Finally, you can also set the screen to display either your pixel art or ones created by the community using the app, which we'll get into later. Alright, so the funny thing is that while I was playing around with this device and actually finding out all of its features, even while filming this video, I found out that there was actually a boatload more of features left to play with and discover, which unfortunately we don't have the time to cover in this video, but let's get on to the sound. Now, as for overall sound quality, I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with the Ditoo Pro's performance. You get decent treble, allowing for deep clarity of vocals and percussion instruments, and for such a small speaker, the bass is actually fairly decent, with the mid-range frequencies being passable. Now the speaker itself gets plenty loud, which is great indoors, as well as for outdoor use as well. Say if you were at the beach, or if you were playing outdoor basketball, I think it did a pretty good job. Alright, so the app itself is pretty intuitive and allows you to access a plethora of pixel art created by the community. Here you can also set up new Divoom devices, create and upload your own pixel art, and set how many pieces of artwork you want to display on a loop. I also want to add that the packaging that it comes with is fantastic, and no other speaker that I've purchased comes with a case that makes it look like a mini fridge. This is really a win-win situation. So plus 10 points to Divoom for that alone. Now, one downside I've found on the app with the amazing pixel art that was produced by the community is that some of these pixel masterpieces are of a higher resolution, and while they look great on the app, when you actually download them and set them to the 16 by 16 resolution screen on the Divoom Ditoo, it actually comes out really weird looking, and so you really have to be careful with the artwork you select. Alright, so I found the battery life of the Divoom Ditoo Pro to be about 6.5 hours to 7 hours with constant playback of music. Now, if you were just to stick to the more basic features such as the clock feature or just displaying some pixel artwork, you can get up to about 20 hours of battery life, Now, one thing I'm actually kind of annoyed about with this device is the charging time, because it usually takes up to about 2.5 to 3 hours to get it to a full charge if you've absolutely killed this thing. And that can get pretty annoying pretty fast, especially in this modern era where phones can fast charge up to 50% in 30 minutes. Alright, so is the Divoom Ditoo Pro actually worth it? And you know what? For me, it's a resounding yes. No pun intended, but I gotta admit, for 85 New Zealand dollars, which is about 50 USD, I think this is absolutely a bargain. And it's just a great little thing to have around in your house, because it not only just looks great sitting there, but the amount of functionality you get with this little device is absolutely great. I mean, aesthetically, it looks great. It's a great talking piece, I gotta say, with all of my friends immediately being drawn to it and asking me exactly what it is and what it does. I've also found it to be a great gift as well, because it really is one of those things where the more you use it, the more you realize just how fun and useful it is. Alright, so this has been it for my review on the Divoom Ditoo Pro. My invisible watch tells me we're out of time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.